Hi everyone, I'm going to teach you your math lesson today for Wednesday, March 18th. This is going to be all about multiplying two-digit numbers times two-digit numbers. I want to remind you that we do the closest estimate as our warm-up because it helps us practice a strategy to see if our final answer is close to our ballpark answer. That helps us know if we get a wacky one or not. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. We have 54 times 23, and I don't want you to solve it all the way, okay? We're going to find our closest estimate. Remember from yesterday, when I look at two numbers, I think of which number is closest to a landmark number or a comfy number. And when I look at 54 times 23, I think to myself, pause the video and think, which one do you think is going to be the number we round? Pause now. Okay, so welcome back. I am going to round 23. Was that what you thought? Okay. I'm going to do 54 times 20. Because 23 is only 3 away from 20, but 54 is 4 away from 50. So here we go, 54 times 20. Well, I can make that even easier for myself and do 54 times 2. What is that? That's right, that's 108. So then I'm going to write that up here, multiply my 2 times 10 and put the 20, put the 0 there, put the 0 over here. Now that we have our rounded answer of 1,080, which do you think is going to be our closest estimate? 100, 500, 1,000. That's right. It's 1,000. Okay, so now I want you to try closest estimate using this strategy with this next problem. Do 60 times 27. Round one of them if you need to. You might not. And then see what is the closest estimate. Pause the video for that now to be able to do that. Okay, good job. Now I'm going to teach you the next part of our lesson. The next part of our lesson is I'm going to teach you how to play a game called Factor Bingo. You're going to have a link in your Google Classroom on how to play this. So it'll take you to a page that looks like this. What you're going to do is you just choose any game board you want. I'm going to choose the first one, but you can choose any of them. And here you're going to play a game against someone in your house, okay? So you sit side by side. Now, what I want you to notice is each person has a counter that they can click and drag over the numbers. So what we do is we deal a card, and we use the counter to cover a factor of this number on our game board. So here we have 810. Now, excuse the shaking. Now with 810, when I look at 810, I think, well, that looks a lot like another number I know, which is 81, if I just cover that 0. See that? So I'm going to be player A, and you could be player B, okay? So I'm going to drag my counter to anything that's a factor of 810. Well, first I know that when a number ends in 0, it's an even number. So I know 2 will be a factor. So I'm going to drag it here. And I'll keep dragging on every factor that works for 810. Remember, a factor is one of the numbers you multiply another number against to get an answer. This is with multiplication. Well, 81 or 810, well, I know 9 times 9 is 810, so that means 90, you see that 9 right there, would work because 9 times 90 would make 810. Do you see any other numbers I could use? Yep, 9 would also work. So I'm going to click on as many as possible. I also know that when a number ends in 0, one of its factors will be 5, because when you count by 5s, you land on the base 10s. I'm going to drag this over here. Now it's your turn. with the same number. So we both use this card. Now it's your turn. You're going to cover your numbers that are factors of 810. So as I look at yours, you might say, oh, look, Miss Thompson, there's a 5 on mine too. Yeah, so then cover it. Oh, look, there's a 10. Well, if it ends in 0, it has a factor of 10. It's 81 times 10. So I'm going to put a 10 right there. Oh, look, you have a 90 and you have a 9. Maybe you see more factors for yourself. Oh, look, there's a 2. Anytime it ends in 0, 2 is a factor. Okay, so you cover as many as you've got. Then it's my turn again. Well, we kind of play our turns at the same time. We'll click this. Another card will be there, and we'll each put as many counters on as possible on our own. And when it's like bingo, when you have them in a diagonal line, vertical line, horizontal line, you win. Okay, so I want you to play around with someone in your house. Sounds good? The final part of what your lesson is going to be today is doing page 449 in your math book.